So, the good thing with DJI is when you go to plug in the mic,
head towards Napa Road, then turn left onto Napa Road. Turn left onto Napa Road.
I've got to be careful. I'm very suspicious driver around whenever I leave where I'm. Whoa, sorry, dude. Because people fly around like crazy.
In 600 meters,
Like literally,
right onto Arundel Drive.
and it's a bit of an uncomfortable feeling for me when I don't drive so fast. If it's speed limit's 60, I like 55. 110, I like 100. But anyway, Henry, the accounting app. Wow, if you're a I don't think if you run a business on an ABN and you're really just a invoicing business and your accounts receivable, accounts payable, it's good. Xero is overcomplicates things. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's great for like a small business that really has a lot of inventory or multiple employees.
Continue straight to
But Henry is it's great for a real simplified, sole trader type ABN based business, or even like what I'm doing with the AI Foundation. It's see, we don't have inventory per se. We pay a few bills a month. There's a few bills to be paid a month. There's invoices to give out,
in 600 meters.
and they are recurring.
Continue straight to stay on
Henry does all that. So today I was doing, this morning, looking at the programming from the Model Context Protocol, but also webhooking, which is both using Henry work really well. But also I noticed that when I was reading through the output of the AI compared to Xero, Henry, the AI requires a lot less thinking to work with Henry compared to say Xero. MYOB is out of the picture. It's legacy now. It's too bulky. It's overladen. It's just at this point I wouldn't. It's just irredeemable, MYOB. I thought those bikes were illegal or something. Anyway,
in 400 meters at the round.
Henry just makes a lot of sense. And the great thing is that it plugs into superannuation as well. So again, wow, this is really good. Also, it can deduct a specific amount and put into other bank accounts as well. So for like me, I and what I think is that it could actually be ran. If you're a sole trader and you're not using Henry, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to use anything else. But the agent that I built is so multi-ability now. And it can take the frequently asked questions, the general inquiries. It can extract information from the specific documents that you write your frequently asked questions with. So if it's a Google document, that's fine, or a spreadsheet, which I prefer. It can extract the information from those so they can be updated on the fly. You're not locked into anything. You can get access to it and then update it. And so let's say if you're a plumber and you charge $120 plus GST to replace a set of taps, that doesn't require any special or any other repairs. And you just charge a flat rate, $100 plus GST. You can write that in, but then they say that the gas prices go up, and you realise you need an extra 10% on the job. You can quickly go into that into your spreadsheet, and you can update it. Yeah, I don't charge $100 anymore for that. I charge $110. Not only that, I've built into it the Google distance and duration calculator, so you can say how long jobs take, and if they're service only jobs with no parts required, you can excuse me, you can charge per minute. Personal trainers, that's great. Or the duration, like the distance between the job. Like, say you always charge your home base is your home base, your origin, and you have to go to a specific client who might be, you might be in Yatala and they might be in Southport. So that might be 25 kilometres. You might charge an extra $3 per kilometre or $1 per kilometre for travel. See, if I was a tradesperson right now, I would be charging not only for the hours of the job, but also the hour I'm traveling. And then also with the distance, I might just also gas prices, right? So I might charge a flat rate of $2 per hour for labour, but then travel, I might also charge $1 per kilometre. Then on top of that, I might charge the actual minutes required to actually drive to the job. So I'm constantly, every minute, I'm actually physically working, because you are working. The minute you leave your home base to go start a job, why isn't that considered work by a lot of people? I tend to think, that's part of the job. That's working. And with this gig economy that we've got, that, where we've sort of everybody nowadays is just not, how do you even, what's going on here? Might be an accident. It's just, to me, it's just, this is Australia, one of the most expensive countries in the world to exist in, right? To live in. And there's no relief coming. Why wouldn't you do something like that? Do you know what I mean? Like, and if people just say, oh, it's too expensive, you go, yeah, well, this is, I'm sorry, but, we have to charge, we've got some of the highest gas prices in the world. We've got the highest cost of living in the world. We're now paying, $1,000 a week in rent just to live, near your work. We have some of the highest internet charges. We have telephone plans that don't include data. Or there's a data limit and you have to pay for excess. It's like, our prices keep going up for everything. I saw pikelets, and I haven't had them for 20 years, right? But I can remember I used to buy them from Coles. I don't remember if it was the Coles brand I used to buy, but but when I was last living in Australia in 2004, they were $1.20. They're now like was it $3.20? I was like, what happened? Like, how did this country become so much more expensive? But I don't see why people shouldn't charge people for traveling to the job. It's a very expensive ordeal to do. It's not good enough to just charge a flat rate per hour of you being on the job. What happens if what happens if you've got to drive 2 hours to a job? It makes it very unfair. And that's why this gig economy, this whole, Uber Eats, and it only leads to poverty. I met a lady, she was in her 70s, does Uber Eats. She simply just can't, she said it can't afford on the old age, on the pension, because she didn't own a home, so her rent keeps going up, and she just wasn't able to do anything about it. So, but she actually said that it's some weeks now she makes enough to just cover the cost of actually doing Uber. I mean, I'm thinking, wait, you working just to cover the cost of Uber, you're not making enough money to improve the quality of your life. And she goes, exactly. That's horrendous, because she might go drop something off in Parkwood, Gold Coast, but then there'll be another pickup in, say, Southport, 10 kilometers away, or maybe 7 kilometers away. Maybe she's not getting paid for that. Oh. So she might only get paid like $3 to deliver something, but she just says that with the gas prices, I can't go out and buy a new car. I don't have the money for that. But like, the prices for everything keep going up for me, and I just can't afford it. And I'm like, yeah, wow, that's just nuts. Like, there has to be something that someone can do. She's like, well, not sure, just keep thinking it'd be a really good way for sole traders charge also to go to the job, and but the AI agent I made can actually, calculate that. So I just keep thinking, wow, why there should be 1,000 tradespeople around Australia who want that alone. And they can separately invoice people for that, if they choose to. But the great thing with the Henry app that I built is that it can invoice the distance, duration, the product, the service fee, all in one invoice. Very dynamic. The problem is that right now, because there's no regulation and everybody's offering services, and I think that the problem is that somebody that's researched this stuff, they just promise stuff they can't deliver. I was shocked to notice that there's a business now on Facebook. What they're doing is they do these things called mock-ups, where it's like they can't actually build the apps, but they produce a sample of what it can do, but it's not like they're doing the back-end programming. These samples can be made. There's websites that do this. They're selling that. I'm just wondering what they don't. And they claim that they've done half of like 500,000 calls. You know, a little bit of investigation. No, you've done no calls. You're just a salespeople. But the problem is that they don't also instruct or have onboarding processes for people picking up their agents, and so the reason that their price looks good is, number one, they can't build it. They're taking a big upfront fee for the setup, and not that other people don't do it, but that's where they get their money, because they've got people in India to build it. But it's going to be a problem, you know, and it's sort of a bit problematic. It's probably tiring talking about it as well, because I mean, I just don't know what people can expect. I know, you know, I was speaking to somebody last week. He has a very busy franchise business growing. He kept relating everything back to static web forms, and I felt there's a real education gap in this country. What AI can do if it's done right by actual Australian developers who can actually go in and edit it, fix it, repair it. And I just felt like I'm probably not going to get any, like, the gatekeepers have minimal knowledge, and that's fine, but I think I've wasted all my time. I keep breaking down inside my soul, you know. There's no confidence built inside of me anymore. There's no belief in myself. Holding myself like it's just a piece of really thin, you know, a cotton piece of, you know, 2 or 3 cotton strings are holding up, you know, holding me together. And when they finally break, because it started off as a nice thick piece of rope, but now I'm down to a few threads. When they finally break, it's over, but I don't know how people stay confident. I don't know how people there's something that happens to me where I break. I might be doing a phenomenal job at something, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And then I just hate I can't explain this thing. It just tears me to shreds inside. Like I'm just going to mess everything up, ruin everything, destroy everything. I don't understand what it is. But it is so exhausting fighting it. You know, you're constantly trying to fight it off, but you lose it. And you break, you have these things, you know, and it feels useless telling people about it because they don't seem to understand what I'm talking about. Example is, there's a straight road, and you know you can do it, don't worry. It's a straight road you have to walk. There's nothing wrong with you. You've got good legs, good body, no problem. You can walk properly, you're not paralyzed or anything. And you're starting to walk and everything's fine, but then your head starts telling you you're going to fail, you're going to fall, you're going to turn right, you're going to get off, you're going to go left, you idiot, because you're an idiot, you stupid prick. Come on, watch this. I'll fall over, dickhead, because that's all you're good for. That's what goes on in my head all the time, right? Like, it just... I'm like, why? Why are you doing this? Why do you think like this? What's going on? Stop it. But it won't stop. Like, I don't understand why. I really just do not understand this thing. And I just cannot understand what happens. And I've met people who don't have this thing, right? I've met people who are in worse situations than I am, but they don't have this thing. So you start then feeling guilty about you going through this, because you think you have no right to do this because these other people are much worse off than you. And you're like, I know they're much worse off, but I don't know why this happens in my head. No, and you know, nobody cares. Okay. Nobody cares and nobody listens. It doesn't even matter if you're like waiting in the emergency room in a hospital saying, I'm about to end it. I don't get it. You just feel really, really, really like unhappy. That you're going through this because it leads to so many other things like guilt, anger and frustration. What is going on in your head? And you can't turn it off. And other people, they don't go through it, but they will persecute you for it, but they won't know what you're talking about. Right now I'm having nothing but incredible doubts in my head, even though I've just built this thing. I just made it work. I made it work with AI, with the shell of the agent app, with ChatGPT through its AI agent building scenario, you know. I made it all happen, but then I break. And I think I'm going to screw it all up. I just built it and I think I'm going to screw it up. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense to me. But maybe it makes sense to, I don't know, Satan? Who's in charge? I don't know. Anyway, I'm just sick of being poor, losing everything. I'm sick of my mind, living stuck in this mind. I just wanted relief, but there is none. Because there's no relief from this as well. So you sort of end up thinking, well, I ain't got nothing left. I've really got nothing to fight with left. So, what do you do? No, I don't know. I don't know. How the hell can I bring myself, like nobody can bring you down further than yourself, but I need to know how to